Please help me welcome Ella, Joshua, and Tucker Neher for a very special introduction.
Good evening, Kansas FFA. I'm Ella Neher.
I'm Joshua Neher. I'm Tucker Neher.
And we are just 3 of Karli's 6 siblings. Since there are 7 kids in our family, there is always someone to hang out with. Last year, when I was a freshman and Karli was a senior, we got a lot of time together, as she was my ride everywhere. I'm so thankful for the time that I had with her, driving a half hour to and from school, to church activities, and of course, FFA events. To be honest, I slept a lot, but when needed to, Karli used that time to drill me on facts for the Green Hand information test, polish my creed speaking, as well as my prepared public speaking, and practice questions for chapter officer interviews. I owe a lot of my success to that time in the car with her. She started helping me show goats when I was 7, and she hasn't stopped since. She is still great help, but we are now fierce competitors as well as each other's greatest cheerleaders in the show ring. Karli is always up for a sweet treat, but she is not above using those sweet treats to bribe all of us. We are not complaining though. As she has served as a state officer this past year, she hasn't been able to pull her weight at home with the livestock.
I've kitted out a lot of goats this year. I've helped walk her goats and sheep a lot.
It has become pretty common for her to bribe all of the younger siblings with snowballs from serves, Sonic drinks, and even ice cream for us to help her with her goats and sheep. Again, we are not complaining about these bribes. Just like many of you, Karli has served as my FFA role model throughout my journey in the Blue Jacket. Although we have missed her this year, we have been so excited to see her doing what she loves and serving Kansas FFA. Karli has made it her goal to leave everyone she meets better than she found them, and I hope that if you've met Karli this year, you have felt incredibly valued. So please help us welcome our sister, your 2023-2024 Kansas FFA State Treasurer, Karli Neher.
Good.
Aaron's small group, here's your penny. My closest middle school friends and I rushed to my dad, where he held out a penny for us. We were about to play the game, bigger and better, and we were playing to win. My team and I quickly left the church to run to neighborhood houses to try to trade our little penny for something a little bit bigger or a little bit better. The first house we stopped at traded a coffee pod for a penny. Wow, what a steal. Now, just time to find someone with the exact same coffee maker so we can trade our pod for something of higher value. My team was done after about 20 houses and a few slammed doors. We were headed back to the church with a rusty red trike. As we approached the church, we quickly realized that our little red trike wouldn't be the winning, bigger, and better item. The senior boys had managed to get a couch, the 8th grade girls had a beautiful painting, and the sophomore boys managed to get a working washing machine. And what did we have? A trike. A few of the other teams with not so great items began hefting them into the church garbage, but before my team and I could throw our little red trike away, my dad, Jeff, our youth pastor, stopped us. Whoa, what are you doing? He asked. Feeling like we were caught red-handed, we turned to look at him. He went on to explain that a family in our church needed a trike for their 3-year-old. In that moment, there was no hesitation that we would give our hard-earned trike to someone who needed it. Originally, we didn't see value in a little red trike. A penny, a couch, a washing machine, a painting, and even a trike all have value. But they don't have value because of what they are. Their value comes from the value that people place on them. It was in that moment that I realized that although material possessions are important, it's the people in our lives that are the most important. Going into my sophomore year of high school, I was excited. I was still taking all of my core classes at home online, but I had 2 classes at Hays High School, culinary arts and animal science. Now let me tell you, I had high expectations for this semester. I was somewhat confident in my abilities in animal science, But my lack of involvement in the kitchen at home left me uncertain if I would be creating culinary masterpieces or catastrophes. I shyly walked into my first day of culinary arts, where we were tasked with finding our names on a desk. I had the perfect spot on the outside aisle. Now, this teacher and I hit it right off the bat, not only because her daughter was a former FFA member, but because I was a rule follower. And those of us who didn't give her any trouble in class quickly rose to the top as favorites. As the semester progressed, I quickly realized that I was not the whiz in animal science that I thought I was. And the circulatory system sent me down to a B in class. Ouch. On top of that, it felt like every day that I walked into culinary arts, another student was getting sent to the office for bad behavior. As someone who hates not being the best at something, a rule follower, and a newer student to public education, this semester was taking a toll on me. I remember going home to my mom each day and complaining about my mediocre grades in animal science, the chaos in the classroom, and the toll it was taking on me. Although her encouragement was helpful, I was still feeling lost. Towards the end of the semester, we were tasked with creating our very own cookbook in culinary arts. Now let me tell you, I was not looking forward to this. I lacked motivation in the final weeks before Christmas break. And when it came time to turn in the project, I wasn't proud of what I turned in. A few weeks later, my teacher approached me to ask me if some of my project was missing because it didn't look like my typical work. Oops. She then went on to offer me full credit for the assignment if I just completed it. She found value in me that day. The gesture that she showed me was a testament to the value that she placed on each of her students. She went out of her way to get to know me well enough to know it wasn't my best work, addressed the situation, and add a valuable lesson to my life. There's people in our lives that go out of their way to pour into us. Maybe it's your coach who stays after practice because they know how badly you want to do well. It could be your friend who sends you a note of encouragement because they know you need it. Or it could be your advisor who pushes you because they see your potential. How will we recognize these important people in our life? Could it be sending them a thank you card to thank them for their dedication in our life? Or could it simply be telling them how much you appreciate what they've done for you? These are the people that deserve recognition for pouring into us. Growing up, my siblings and I always used to receive cards from my great-grandma. Every year around our birthdays, we'd run to the mailbox to find a fun card with a $5 check inside. Every year, we knew exactly what we were getting, but that didn't stop us from giddily opening it every single time. The words on the card and the money on the check didn't change. But something else that didn't change? My sister Esther's name was spelled wrong every single time. Like clockwork, on March 14th, Esther would run to the mailbox to find a card with her name spelled a little wrong. Each year, we would crack a joke that Grandma hadn't spent enough time in the Old Testament to realize her spelling mistake. Esther didn't know anything different than her name being spelled wrong on that envelope, but it didn't bother her. She was able to focus on the kind gesture that our grandma was showing her rather than her name being spelled wrong. Fast forward to just a few years ago, when my siblings decided that everyone needed to give everyone a gift on Christmas. With 7 kids in the house, you can imagine how chaotic the gift giving was. As we began to open Esther's gifts, we were blown away by the fact that an 11-year-old was giving such nice gifts and the thought and effort that was put into each of them. Esther loves seeing the reaction of someone opening a gift that has so much thought and effort in it. Esther was left better each time she went to the mailbox to find a card with her name spelled a little wrong. Esther is an example of what we should do when people leave us better. People choose to pour into us. They choose to go out of their way to make them better. And now, it's our turn. We have the opportunity to leave others better. Think on your talents and skills. What gifts are you able to give? Having a big or impressive gift isn't a requirement. It's the little everyday tasks and actions that enhance the lives of those around us. Let's narrow down our gift. My mom is an amazing cook, and she uses her gift of cooking to elevate our Wednesday night meals every week at youth group. Our advisors go out of their way to find us and leave us better. And maybe you're only sitting in the seats of McCain Auditorium today because someone went out of their way to identify the qualities and skills within you. Our world needs people to leave each other better. We need to find the value in those around us. Our generation needs to be the generation that leaves each other better. Looking back, I didn't find value in the little red trike. I didn't realize the effort that my teacher was putting in to leaving me better. And I didn't recognize that my grandma's small yet thoughtful gift was shaping Esther into an intentional gift giver. It's these little moments that make me reflect on everyday tasks and actions. This is where value is added to our lives. This is where we add value to others. Kansas FFA, it's time to recognize the people that add value to our lives, choose to add value to others' lives, and make a conscious effort to leave each other better.
Dear Karli, Carla, and my personal favorite, Carlos O'Kelly's, you're our firm believer in the ability of Chick-fil-A workers and dairy cows to run the world, and my best friend. If a joyful heart was medicine, you'd have kept us healthy all year long. Keeping up with 6 siblings left you prepared to be well-versed in the happenings of many, allowing you to be a persistent supporter to all this year. From dollars to Dr. Pepper, you're rich in love and sweet in your action. Thank you for being a value seeker and cultivator of connection. It's an honor to call you a teammate for a year and a joy to call you a friend for life. Love, Cecilia, Peyton, Kai, Christian, and Sage. Kansas FFA, your 2023-2024 Kansas FFA State Treasurer, Karli Neher. Kansas FFA members and guests, please join me in welcoming those individuals who have shaped Karli through their passion and dedication.
Mom and Dad, although your roots in agriculture run deep, your roots in FFA only go back a few years. Thank you for diving headfirst into an organization that means so much to your kids. You've always valued doing things as a family. Thank you for making FFA a family thing. This year wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for your dedication to my success and personal growth. Your calls on my long drives, encouraging texts, and reminders of 1 Corinthians 10:31 have allowed me to serve at a higher level this year. Thank you. Caleb, Ella, Esther, Maya, Joshua, and Tucker. Thank you for always walking my animals while I was away, sending me a goofy Snapchat on a hard day, and your willingness to always listen to all my FFA stories. I wouldn't stand here today if it wasn't for your support, encouragement, and your willingness to challenge me. Thank you. Kansas FFA, please help me in honoring my parents, Jeff and Jessica Neher, as I bestow upon them their honorary state FFA degree. Mrs. Winter, your classroom door was always open for me. You allowed me to try, learn, fail, and grow in that classroom. Thank you for cheering me on when I did well, but always encouraging me to go further. My belief in the future of agriculture stems from your belief in me. I took for granted every early morning practice, officer meeting, or stop by your classroom just to chat. These are the moments that have shaped me into the person I am today. Thank you for listening on the hard days, being excited on the successful ones, and never letting me stay as I am, but helping me to become better. Thank you for showing up for your students and myself every day. Kansas FFA, please help me in honoring my ag teacher, Mrs. Nicole Winter. Hays High School administrators, USD 489 superintendents, and Hays High School. Thank you for welcoming me with open arms 5 years ago. Thank you for giving a chance to a non-traditional student with a heart for agriculture education. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you allowing me to attend Hays High School. Thank you for all you do for myself, for the students of Hays High, especially the ones that sit in the agriculture education classroom. Kansas FFA, please help me in thanking my school administrators.
Thank you for giving us the honor to serve with Karli this year. It has been an honor to watch her create a positive impact on the Kansas FFA Association. Please join me in one more round of applause for Karli's parents, administrators, and advisor.